Akinwale, how are you? It's been a long time I saw this girl, uh, Susanna. What was her name? Susanna Ferrami. Titi, your friends. What happened to them? You're not talking to your friend, are you?
No, I actually
It is
talk
well.
to them. Susan is not
Ah,
online presently, but I don't know. And Fermi, I don't talk to her personally.
okay. So we have two types of vegetative propagation in plants. We have the natural vegetative propagation and the artificial. So let's check. What am I writing? I'm writing negative. So we have the natural vegetative propagation. I shorten the vegetative propagation to be VP. So natural vegetative propagation and the artificial vegetative propagation. So let's start with the first one, which is natural vegetative propagation. So when we talk about vegetative propagation, it's almost synonymous to what we treated in budding. Do you remember budding? Do you guys still remember what we checked in budding in the last class? And somebody remind me what budding is. Anyone? Akinwale, are you there? Are you in the class last? Oh, can you guys hear me at all?
Yes, sir. Sir, can I just explain now, like my own understanding?
And please let me hear your understanding there.
Hmm. Okay, so budding is a type of asexual reproduction where new organisms grow from parents, and after they grow from the parent organism continues to grow.
The organism will do what? They will go from parents, all this. They will go from a parent, have you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's actually in normal terms. They go out of a parent cell into a new daughter cell without fusion of gametes. Like two people are not coming, just one parent is producing a new daughter cell. So also vegetative propagation is a type of asexual reproduction in plants where new plant grows from part of a parent instead of going from seeds. So that's why I said it is actually synonymous, similar to body. We get it now. We have a parent cell. So new plant is growing from that parent. Normally, plant should grow from a seed. When you plant a seed, maybe a maize seed, plant should grow. But when plant began to grow from a plant and not from a seed, we refer to it as vegetative propagation. Now we have the natural one and the artificial. Natural one simply means it occurs on their own without any external influence. Vegetative propagation occurs naturally, and we have artificial when it is done specifically by the farmer or by a person, like there's somebody in charge of the vegetative propagation that is artificial. So you can write it down. Vegetative propagation is a type of The type of asexual reproduction. Let me just write it carefully. Vegetative propagation. The type of asexual reproduction in plants. Where new plants grow from a parent plant. Grow from a parent instead from seeds. They get now. So like I was saying, I said natural vegetative propagation, it happens naturally in plants. It doesn't need any external influence or someone influencing the propagation. It just happens naturally. That's natural vegetative propagation. For example, tubers. So all these happen naturally through some plants' special structures. For example, plants with tubers. For example, potato. So tubers has all these swollen underground stems through which they can grow new plants from it without you planning or planting other seed. If you plant a potato seed can generate like 5 big tubers like of potato. It can extend to produce other extra potato. So that is an example. Tubers growing potato. Another one is the rhizomes. For example, ginger. These ones they grow horizontally. They are underground stems. They can grow horizontally. Another one is the bulbs like onion. They also they can also create extra plants instead of you planting another seed. They have all these short underground stems, but they have fleshy leaves that are attached to that underground stems. In case they ask you, maybe I should be writing the characteristics of these things for you so that you can. For the tubers, I said swollen underground stem. They can ask you the type of plant that has swollen underground stems with eyes that goes into new plants. So that one is the tubers. For the rhizomes, they have underground stems that grow horizontally. For the bulbs, yeah, they have short underground stem that are surrounded by fleshy leaves. Sometimes they will just ask you examples. They can say onion is an example of what type of natural vegetative propagation. So that is bulbs. Ginger is rhizomes, potato tubers. We also have cones like the cocoyams. They have solid underground stems that helps to store food. And so on. I think we have runners also, like the strawberry. These are the five possible natural vegetative propagation that we have. We have the runners also. In case they ask you, strawberry belong to which type of natural vegetative propagation? Which is the runners. So they have long stem growths along the ground and form a new plant.
If I don't children, I'm always going to call your mother. You see what they did to me? You know they talk.
Yeah, I'm in a class. Yeah, we come and meet you when I'm done.
I chair. I have to remove my difficult. They will come, they will sleep on the floor. I have to write those things. So if you look at the notice there now, they now rather themselves down there. And some of them are right. So I don't think that any like that. I think it's get the people. If you can hold one and grab
Hey, that's what I'm planning to do actually.
I don't know kind of children and I don't school come. I've not had any. But it's set. So I'm sorry.
It's okay, ma.
It's
okay. It's okay, ma. No problem, ma. Thank you, ma. I'm so sorry for that. So where are we? Okay. I'm sorry, guys. So sorry for that. So where are we? Runners. We are talking about runners, the natural vegetative propagating plant that goes along the ground. So that's all. So in case they ask you cocoyam is an example of bulbs, rhizomes. Ginger as an example, potato tubers, strawberry. Hello,
So what about bananas?
bananas. Is it not suckers?
Uh-huh.
What do you say?
Yeah, I was asking about what about bananas and plantain?
That's what I'm saying now. They should be under the suckers. SUCKERS. Or you want me to write all those things for you too?
No, it's okay.
Is that gift?
No,
Titi?
Lillian.
In there, yes, sir. You said you are struggling with it. Okay. That's my advice. I will make it more bold. I have a tiny advice. I like writing time, but I will make it more bold now. You want me to give you everything, guys? Lenny and Toko. These are the things they ask you to know. So I'm giving you what you need. But in case they ask you for banana, it is suckers. But if they don't put suckers there, you can pick this guy. I think I give you corn, maybe. This corn, cocoyam. That is only if there's no sucker there, please. If there is sucker, you pick sucker. But if there's no sucker, you can pick corns. Is that taken? All right, so let's proceed to another thing. Actually, don't worry, I will try to bolding my handwriting. What else? So let's move to artificial. So, like I said, naturally is ensured by the plant itself. But can you see my writing now? Artificial vegetative propagation. So artificial is done by humans. Let me just use humans, the farmers that are trying to grow the plant. You see some plants, they will cut it. In fact, it's also applicable to banana sometimes. They will cut banana so that it can grow another type of banana. They can cut cassava so that it can grow another part of cassava. So that one is actually done by humans. So the first one is cutting. Is my writing big a little bit now? I should make it more bigger. Don't mind me, I don't like writing too big. So for example, cassava and the likes. Cassava was, and look for other examples. So this is actually done. So a part of the plant will be cut. You firstly grow a part of the plant, like you can grow the stem, you can grow the leaf. So after the part of the plant is grown, you now cut it so that it can grow a new plant of that plant. We get we have grafting, we have budding, we have layering. Yeah, layering. We get now. So that is artificial vegetative propagation. They first grow a part of the plant. They will now cut it so that it can grow another part of the plant. That is cutting. From the word cutting, a part of the plant. Let me just write it out for you. Part of the plant will be grown and cut so as to grow a new plant. They get it. Another one is I think someone said grafting now. So let's say graft. Actually, can you see my writing now? I think it is more bigger now. So grafting is just talking about joining one part of the plant. You join part of one plant to another plant. So that is grafting. joining parts of one plant to another. That is grafting. Another one is layering. Layering is when a branch of the plant, you will bend it, to the ground so that it will be covered by the soil until another root is formed. That is layering. For example, if you want to plant like cassava, you will cut it, you will put inside the soil, you now pour more soil to it. So a branch is bent to the ground and covered with soil or buried with soil. And buried with the soil. Another one is budding. One is just like the budding, the second type of the asexual reproduction that we are talking about. But a bud from one plant will be removed and be attached to another plant. So that is all about artificial vegetative propagation. We have cutting, we have grafting, we have budding. Do we all get that? Are we done right? Are we all done? Can I go to another slide? Okay, thank you. So in case they ask you for examples under this, I believe you can create examples for all these things. For this grafting, it's actually common in fruit, all these fruits. So in fruit, we can join one part of one plant to another. So you can join one part to another. So you can combine food together in order to increase the quality or to increase the yield of that fruit. In biochemistry, we call it biotechnology. It is just, I think the dogs, they use it also now. That's why you have different breeds of dogs. So this grafting is actually common in fruits. For this grafting, for the layering, like we said, as you bend a branch of the plants to the ground and you bury it or you cover it with soil until root is formed there. So it's also common in uh all these flowering fruits or plants like the hibiscus, the blackberry, and in Dover also. And the budding, like we said, you attach a bud from one plant to another plant. So let's move to the advantage and the disadvantage of artificial vegetative propagation. The advantage and the disadvantage. So the advantage I have here. Okay, I saw I saw something here now. You can do what to write it down. Let me just paste it for you. Yeah. So I think I've given you these examples already. So advantages of vegetative propagation include the following, but they won't ask you for advantage. They said rapid multiplication. It ensures this fast method of reproduction. It's very fast. Rapid multiplication. I'll write it down for you. Number one, rapid multiplication. So it have this um fast method of reproduction. And it produces identical plants. Like it produces identical plants. And it can be used for plants that they can't produce seeds. So they will be using their branch or the part of the plant to produce new plants. Produces identical plants. And it's useful for plants that don't produce it. And plants mature faster than the seed growing plants. So they won't start with the from the primitive stage. They mature faster than the seed from plants. But the disadvantage, they have no genetic variation. Simply means disease can spread easily. Disease can spread easily. And it can lead to overcrowding of plants. And leads to overcrowding of plants. So let's leave this, guys. Let's move to sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Before we move to the main thing, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So, if you remember when we talked about asexual reproduction, we said it does not involve the fusion of gametes in order to form a zygote or in order to form a new daughter cell. But in sexual reproduction involves the fusion of gametes, both the male gamete and the female gamete that will come together and they will form a zygote, they will form a baby. So that is what sexual reproduction entails. So sexual reproduction, you can write it down. Sexual reproduction involves the fusion of male and female gametes to form a zygote. So let me give you structure of a flower because we are checking sexual reproduction in flowering plants so that we'll use it to explain how this is done. I want you to fasten your eyes on this diagram here. Can you see the structure of a flower? You can see, actually in flower, we have two main parts. Without taking, we have the male part and the female part. The main part is what we refer to as stamen. This guy here. That's the male part. You can see what it contains. It contains the anther, it contains the pollen, it contains the filament, isn't it? And the female part is what we refer to as pistil. Can you see it? You can see what the pistil contains. It contains the stigma, it contains the style, it contains the ovary, and it contains the ovule. Both the receptacle, the sepal, and the beta, they are ubiquitous. They can be used by either of the parts. Are we together? So now look at the main part, which is the stamen. You know, I said we have the anther, we have the pollen, we have the filament. The anther is that part of the plant that helps to produce pollen grains. We call it the male reproductive cells. What did I say? In case they have to, the main reproductive cells of the flower is the anther. It helps to produce pollen grains. Is that taken? Let me just is a male reproductive cells. So it helps to produce the pollen grain. Here's the axial. Which part of the flower helps to produce pollen grain? It helps to produce pollen grains. So the pollen, this second guy here, you can see, look at these dots, 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 dots. It is what it is being produced by the anther. It's like a tiny powder grains. And what it does is that it carries the male gamete. It has the male gamete in it and it will carry it. We get it now. The anther will produce the pollen grain. The pollen grain contains, or the pollen, sorry, it contains the male gamete. That is, it carries the male gamete. Why this filament here? It is a very tiny stalk that helps to hold up the anther. can see it is just like an antenna that help us to hold the hunter for easy pollen release. So it is attached to the receptacle here. That is how the filament is being made. It is very long and tiny. It helps to hold the hunter for easy pollen release. I hope you understand everything under male now. And let's look for an abbreviation to get the male. Let's say M represent male. We have APF. So which abbreviation can we give this guy? In case they ask you the part of the male, part of the male reproductive organ are dash, dash, and dash. So once you remember this. Can somebody tell us the abbreviation we can get from this MAPF? Should we use map F? Anyone? Or you know it offhand like that? So once you shall remember this abbreviation, you know that your A represents your anther, your P represents your pollen, and your F represents your filament. Is that it? Your anther helps to produce pollen grains. Your P, which is your pollen, helps to carry your male gametes. It is that tiny grains that is being produced by the anther. And your filament is just like a key holder, a very tiny stalk that helps to hold the anther for easy release of the pollen grains. And the second part is the female part. And the female part is what we refer to as the pistil. This guy here, the pistil. So the pistil is a female reproductive organ, and there are other components inside it. Like we said, we have the stigma, S, O. This one we can call it so. Anytime you see so, stigma, style, ovary, it's very simple now. So the stigma, it is the sticky surface that receives the pollen grain that is coming from the male reproductive organ. It receives the pollen grain. Please hope you are writing it down. I may not dictate again. And this style is just like a channel that the pollen, after this stigma receive this pollen grain here at the surface here. This style is a channel through which the pollen travels. Do you get it now? It's a channel through which the pollen travels. It connects the stigma to the ovary. So after the stigma receives it, it will take it and send it to the ovary. They get it. And the ovary helps to develop into fruit. It helps the seed or the grains that is being received by the stigma and transferred by the style. It will develop it into fruit after fertilization. And it helps to contain the ovules. Inside the ovary, we have the ovules. In case they ask, ovules does not contain the ovary. It is the ovary that contains the ovule. Please hope that is taken. The ovule contains the female egg, but they do not contain the ovule. Please, do we get it? Or I should come again. Lillian, do you get it?
Come again, sir.
Okay. Do you get the male reproductive organ?
Yes.
Okay, the female reproductive organ of the flowering plant. I said we have the general name, which is the female, the pistil. And the pistil, we call it the female part. Everything here we refer to it as pistil. The stigma, the style, the ovary, and the ovule. So we said inside the pistil, we have 4 major components, which is so. the stigma, the style, the ovary, and the ovule. And we said this stigma, this pollen grain that is being released by the hunter will be attracted by the stigma. The stigma has something like a sticky face, like a sticky surface that can attract. Once the pollen grain is being dispersed in the air, by the time it is falling, it can fall on top of the stigma. So after the stigma received the pollens, there's a channel, we call it style. The channel has two functions. We can see here, it connects the stigma to the ovary. This thing that looks like a cylinder, it looks like a round bottom flask in chemistry laboratory. It will connect the stigma to the ovary. Yeah. And also this style also, it helps to receive the pollen that the stigma attracts or receive from the pollen grain. So it will transfer it to this ovary. This ovary contains the ovules. Like I said, ovule do not contain the ovary. It is ovary that contain the ovules. So what this ovary does is that it will develop that grains into fruit. It develops into fruit after fertilization. So the ovules that are present in the ovule, sorry, like I said, all these tiny ovules here, all these guys, they will develop into fruit after fertilization. These ovules here, they are female egg cells that can become seeds after fertilization. So it is this ovary that contain those ovules, which can in turn develop back into fruit after fertilization. Do you get that? So the next thing is the other guys, the petal, the sepal, and the receptacle. The petal is the part of the flower that give it this color, give it this nice color, so that pollination can be possible. That sometimes pollination in plants, in flowers are done by winds. That sometimes it is done by some agents, like some animals are being attracted to the flower due to the color. So the petal is the brightly colored part of the flower. It can attract some animals like insects, so that pollination can be done through the hunter to the stigma. They get it now. So the petal is just the brightly colored part of the plant. In case they ask you what function does it do, it attracts insects and it ensures pollination. Is that taken? And the second part is the sepal. This is sepal here. It is like the base. Sometimes or majority of the time, it has a green-like structure. Like you see in this diagram, it is the base of the flowering plant, of the flower. And it actually protects the flower from the bud. Protect the flower. It protects the flower from peeling down, actually. And the last one is the receptacle. It is the base where all the flower are being attached to. That is the receptacle, the base where all part of the flower are attached to. It's just like a container that contains every other part of the flower. So that is all about the part of the flower, from the anther to the pollen to the filament. Stigma will attract the grain. The style connects the stigma to the ovary. The ovary contains the ovule, which are then fertilized to become fruit. The sepal, the green-like structure at the base of the flower, which helps to protect the flower when it is still a bud, and this sepal which connect the flower to the stem, and it is a place where all part of the flowers are being attached to. So that's just all about it. So let me just give you a short note. I believe you guys have jotted down already. The hunter produces the pollen. That's just I'm trying to give you a simple flow. The hunter, and just write it down. Hunter will produce the pollen grain. The pollen will land on the stigma. After landing on the stigma, the pollen will travel through the star. After traveling through the star, it will fertilize the ovule in the ovule. Fertilize. Oh, and then the ovule become a seed. The ovule become a seed, and the ovule becomes a fruit. So that's how the flow of pollinations and fertilization works. As the hunter produces the pollen will be transferred into the stigma because the stigma has a sticky structure of sticky surface that can attract the pollens. The pollens will then be received by the stigma and it will be transferred through the star. And after reaching the ovules, we fertilize the ovule in the ovule, and the ovule becomes a seed, and the ovule is fertilized and mature to become a fruit. In case they ask you the part of a flower and functions, the OTTF, number one, let me just dictate it for you because of our time. I think you should have jotted it down during the explanation. The SEPA protects the flower bud. SEPA, SEPAL, it protects the flower bud. Number two, the petal attracts insects for pollination. The petal attracts insects for pollination. The hunter produces pollen grains. The hunter produces pollen grains. The filament holds anther. The filament holds anther. Let me come again. The SEPA protects the flower bud. The SEPA protects the flower bud. The petal attracts insects. You know, it has a very bright color, so it can attract insects to ensure pollination. The petal attracts insects. The anther helps to produce pollen grains. The filament holds anther. The stigma receives pollen grain. The stigma receives pollen grain. The style, STYLE, connects stigma to ovule. The style connects stigma to ovule, and the ovule contains ovules. The ovule The ovary contains ovules. I hope that is gotten. So let's flip to another topic before we move to sexual reproduction in women. I would like to take that as the last thing. Let's move to pollination. Pollination. All right. So when we were talking about this sexual reproduction in flowering plants, one way or the other, you will have understand what pollination is. So pollination talks about the transfer of pollen grains from the male reproductive organ to the female reproductive organ, from the anther to the stigma of a flower. That is what pollination talks about. And we have different types of pollination. We have self pollination. When we talk about self pollination, it's talking about same flower or same plant. When pollination is done within the same flower or the same plant. And we have cross pollination. When pollination is done with different plants, there may be a plant at a particular location and 3 meters apart, pollination is being done to another plant also. What's the issue with?
You are rushing.
Sorry, need to rush. Okay, pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the flower. Yeah, can I go to the next slide? Lillian, hope you are getting it. Lillian and Titi, don't fall my hand. Oh. Which one of you? You fall my hand then. I won't like it. Eh. I said we have two types of pollination, right? So we have self pollination and we have cross pollination. So for the self pollination, we refer to as same flower or same plant. And for the cross pollination, we refer to as different plants. So I don't think they can ask you agent of pollination. Agent of pollination includes the wind, the insects, the waters, the animals. Who just joined the class? Benita, please hit your mic. So in case they ask agent of pollination, it includes the wind, the insects, the waters, the animals. The wind, you understand? Wind can ensure self-pollination, cross-pollination. Insect also can ensure self and cross-pollination. When insect comes to the hunter of a flower, it can take it and transfer it, maybe by shaking the flower or by sucking, or by attachment of the pollen grains to its body, and transfer it to the stigma of the second flower of that same flower. And it can take the hunter, the pollen grains in the hunter of one flower, and go to another new flower entirely and transfer the pollen grains to the stigma of another flower. Same thing as water. Water can sweep pollen grains from one flower to another flower and all. I hope that is taken. So in case they ask for advantages of cross-pollination, advantages of cross-pollination include it can produce variation, depth in variation. It can produce variation. Can produce stronger daughter cells or offspring. Better adaptation. How that is taken. There's another to be checking so far is fertilization. I will just give you little tips on it, then we move on. So fertilization also is the fusion of male gametes with the female gametes to form a zygote. Is that it? It's also the same thing as the sexual reproduction. It is a fusion of the male gametes with the female gametes. Form a zygote. Let me show you this diagram. I don't know if this thing can contain it. I want one of you to explain. I think Lillian should explain this diagram to us. Lillian, over to you. Lillian,
Sir?
explain this diagram to us. I hope you've been following Mrs. Money. Yeah?
Yes.
We are talking about fertilization in flower. And I said it's actually the same thing to what we've been talking about. And in fertilization, the other time I was explaining the female and the male reproductive parts of the flower, how they work together. in order to produce a seed or a fruit. And I said fertilization is the fusion of male and female gametes. So I want you to, in within 1 minute, just explain uh this stuff to us. Yeah. Be our teacher for 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, um, actually, pollination, like it is the transfer of the pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower, and which can be dispersed by either wind, insects, water, or animal. So when the pollen grain now falls on the stigma, um, it sorry,
Use this diagram to explain what we mean by fertilization using the individual components. Give to Libela House. You will give me money after Belina. Yeah, let me see. And now, if you go to the police station, you want to bail someone, won't you pay for the bail?
I'm not paying anything. According
Like,
to the diagram, so when the pollen grain, there is that brown something, they highlighted it. The pollen grain is transferred from the anther to the stigma. It travels down the tube, which is style, and they also
how does the polygon is transferred to the anti-stigma? What does the anti does?
hmm?
The
it
anti.
produces pollen grain.
anther produce the pollen grain.
So what is in that pollen grain?
Male gametes.
Male ga- yes.
Yeah, now you're talking.
Male
So
gametes.
it will be transferred to the stigma, Abby.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so how does the stigma holds the pollen grain?
Through its sticky
True.
structure,
Very good. Okay, so you can continue. So after then go
which is being transferred through the pollen tubes.
to be travel where?
So which is being transferred through the pollen tubes.
What is the pollen tubes? What is the difference between the pollen tubes and the sty?
Well,
Anybody? This sty contains the pollen tubes. The pollen tube is just a tube containing stigma to the ovary. It's like a pathway for the pollen tube. Um, it's like a pathway for the pollen grain. Why the ovary is a pathway for pollen tube? You get the difference? Do we get the difference?
yes,
Okay. Do you get it? This one you're saying yes. If you don't get it, tell me.
I get it, sir.
Okay. Okay, continue with your explanation now. Lina, are you done with your explanation?
Uh, as the male gamete travels through the pollen tubes, it divides into two sperm nuclei.
It divides into two what? The
Sperm
pollen gets.
nuclei.
Why is it divided?
Um,
So after dividing, what happened?
it well the after dividing to the two sperm nuclei, the 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 first sperm nuclei will fuse with the egg cell, while the second will fuse with the um this thing.
Linear. What does the ovary contains, and what does what it contains? What does it become?
The ovary.
Uh-huh. The ovary contains the ovum.
Yes.
So what does it later become?
The ovary later becomes the fruit,
What about the ovum?
while
What
the
does it
ovary
contain?
later becomes the seed.
The ovum contains the seed.
The ovary contains the ovule.
The ovary contains the ovum, which
Yes.
later become the fruit.
Yes, and the
What
ovary
the
later
ovum contains what?
becomes.
The ovary does not contain the seed though.
I'm
Gives
saying that the ovule later becomes the seed.
become the seed. But what does it contain initially?
Um,
Gives help your friend now. Why are
It
you
contains the female garment.
the female garment? What is the female
Yes.
garment?
Huh?
What's the name of the female garment?
The name of the female
the
garment.
egg cell.
It contains the female garment. Do you have any female garment now? Stigma is a
Egg
female
cell.
garment. Eh, contains the egg cell. Okay, gift over to you. Come and face your own panel. Lay and clap for yourself, Jare. You're Omogidi. Do you know the name of Omogidi? You're a good child. Yeah. It's a main gift. So gifts. We talked about some other parts of the flowering plants, which include the petal, the sepal, and hull. What is the function of the petal? And what is the function of the sepal?
Okay. The petal is the bright colored and scented part of a plant that attracts pollinators to the flower.
Very good. So if they ask you, where does fertilization happens?
It
Where would
happens
you
in
want
the
to,
oval.
in the ovum? Very good. What one can I ask you again? Where does the pollen grain land during pollination?
During pollination, it lands on the stigma.
Lands on the stigma. Very good. What else can I have here? Is it pollination happens before fertilization, or it happens after fertilization, or fertilization happens?
Before fertilization.
Eh. If I catch you, I will strangle you. Don't worry. What else? Hmm. Okay, so I think you are good to go. Don't worry. When it's time for past question and answer, I will give you technical, complex, big, gigantic, robust question. Shocking. Let's move on. Okay, this is 148. We still have some time. So this is just a diagram, but you don't need it. Assuming you are doing your work, this is what you need. This half fertilization occurs in the inside the whole group. So I don't need to explain this to you because you don't need it. Okay. So in case you want to become a biologist, you can just study it very well. Is that taken? So let's quickly move to one of Jam favorite, which is placentation. Placentation. Let's move to another slide. This is the last slide for today. So placentation actually talks about how ovules have been arranged inside the ovary. Placentation in plants. So, like I said, placentation, they will not ask you for this revelation, but they will ask you for the application. They can be asking you about all this marginal placentation and all. But the idea is that the reason why we have different type of placentation is because of the arrangement. All those things is actually confusing. Gone are the days they always draw this diagram for us. They just don't want diagram and they ask us to identify. Is it exile? Is it parental? Is it marginal? All those stupid things. So I'll just show probably the easiest way to approach things like this. Placentation is arrangement of ovules inside the ovule of the flower. So there are ways to which some ovules are arranged. Placentation is the arrangement. Do you see that we use all your colors today? I use black or true. Tomorrow I'm going to use Nelian's color. It's arrangement of ovules inside the ovary of a flower. That is what placentation means. So it's just trying to tell us how and where the ovules, how they are attached inside the ovary, how they are arranged, how they are formed, like their arrangement inside the ovary. So we have different type of placentation. Let me give you a diagram, then I'll give you some notes. So from the diagram, we'll be checking. Then this is JAMB favorite. You cannot miss question on this. You cannot dodge question on this at all. Can you see? They said the figure 1 shows what? Then this one shows central placenta. Okay, this one is talking about, the second one talks about exile placenta, and the third one talks about the parental. This is not the diagram I'm looking for, actually. I'm looking for the one that shows the marginal. This one is not. I will use math to explain. I didn't like how they arrange. All right. So let me just explain this one by one. Let's start with, let me use black. The marginal placentation. So in marginal placentation, the ovary is usually arranged in a single chamber, just one direction. You get it now? a single, so we call it of the ovary is where the ovaries are attached along, because the ovary is usually single chambered, like the veins. If you open the um, the seed, that seed covering of the beans, you will see that how the base is arranged like granite. It is arranged in one margin. They get it now. So opus, you can write it down. Ovary is usually single and general. That is one side margin. That's how the ovaries are arranged. One side margin arrangement. Is that taking? Can somebody give us examples? Think here, beans, granite, and corn. Another one is the exile placentation. So in exile placentation, the ovary is divided into many chambers, but the ovules are attached to a central axis. They have one central axis that every one of them are attached to. The ovules, I will go and download pictures now so that I can explain better. I'll download the colored pictures. So a central axis. So in this case, they don't have a single chamber. The ovary has is divided into many chambers. These are the common examples that they ask. They ask for orange, hibiscus, tomato. Because these are the examples that I'm expected to know. And they will be asking questions on these examples. Oh, I'm even writing on the third. Okay. Another one is the parental presentation. In parental presentation, the ovules are attached to the inner wall of the ovary. So you see that they ask you, number one, they can ask you when ovules are attached to one side margin of the ovary. It is called what? That one is marginal, right? When you had ovules being attached to one side of the margin. And if they don't want to ask you about the meaning of each placentation, they can ask you here. It's an example of what type of placentation. That is marginal, right? And they can draw a diagram for you that shows how ovules are attached to one side margin of the ovary. That is still marginal placentation. You get it now? So the things you need to pay attention to is the meaning of each placentation and the examples I'm giving you now on each placentation. You get it now? So for the marginal, the ovules are attached to one side margin of the ovary. For the exercise, the ovules are attached to a central axis. Every ovules are attached to central axis. But for parental, the ovules are attached to the inner wall. They are attached to the wall of the ovary. Ovules are attached to the inner wall of the ovary. This ovary also is a single chamber here, just like the margin. Just a single chamber. Examples here include pawpaw, cucumber, so the next one is the free central placentation. The free central placentation. Here, the ovules are attached to a central column. They are very synonymous to exer placentation, where the ovules are attached to the central axis. Here, the ovules are attached to a central column. Ovules are attached. Ovules are attached to the central column. They are also single chamber. Examples include the primrose, the dianthus, and the fifth one, which is the last one. Sometimes that's when if they don't access superficial, that's basal placentation. A basal placentation. This one, the ovary is attached at the base of the ovary. Ovary is attached to the base of the ovary. Examples include sunflower, This one can be confusing. For example, maize. If you hear maize, you think it's marginal, isn't it? Maize is baser. Base. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me just give you this 6-1. No, I'm not expecting you to know. That's superficial presentation. Yeah, ovaries are attached all over the inner surface of the body. All over the inner surface of the ovary. Water lily. I believe that is taking. Then we move to the Oga of Oga, the most interesting part. I know kids will like this one. Is there any other like it? Okay. Production in mammals. We start with. Let's start with females. Female first. Female first. Let's start with the male reproductive system. Male reproductive system. Oh, we've gone far today. Hallelujah. So I will start with this diagram. I will start the theory in the next class. Let's check what we've learned so far. This is where we will start in the next class. The male reproductive system. Starts with the urinary bladder, the ureter, the seminal vesicle, the ductus efferens, the prostate gland, and the urethral gland, the erectile tissue, the urethra, the penis, the urethra, the glans penis, the testicle, and the epididymis. All right, let me save this. Your notes. These phase reproduction. So let's quickly go to Lillian, Gifty. Who else is there? Favor of Donita. So Donita is joined later. What happened? Fano,
Yes,
how did you join it?
because I had class at that time.
Oh, so let's check here. Sorry, I'm checking something. Confidence, how are you? So let me look for some past questions on what we're dancing. They want us to start the male reproductive system today. Yo, man. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, I'm looking for some questions. Of course, statistics. Oh, who sent the message now?
It's me. Let's just answer the questions and go, people.
You are. You I'm fasting today.
You're fasting. I'm not fasting. I'm tired. I didn't sleep very well yesterday and I woke up too early than usual.
Gifts. After everything we discussed yesterday.
What do you, I slept by 11 and I woke up by 2. How many hours sleep is that?
Yeah. How many hours is that? Is it not 3 hours?
It's not healthy.
Ah, it's ready for you now. You that are preparing for exam. Is ready. Who told you that? I'm trying to look for questions for you now. Which of the following is an example of asexual reproduction? A. Pollination. B. Spermatogenesis. C. Binary fission. D. Mitosis.
So repeat it again.
Which of the following is an example of asexual reproduction? A. Pollination. B. Spermatogenesis. C. Binary fission. D. Mitosis.
Binary fission.
Binary fission. Hmm. Budding occurs in hydra, um, fish. All these examples: hydra, fish, banana, potato. Anybody? Nobody.
Hydra.
Yeah. Okay. That's Lilian Abby.
Yes.
Gift, I can see you are tired for you. You need to go and
I'm not
sleep.
I typed my answer in the message this thing.
I'm not seeing message this thing. No. Not
I
seeing
typed
message.
my answer. Lily Ashe has seen it.
Me, I'm not seeing it. It's Lilian your teacher. Me, I'm not seeing it.
Good.
Which dish structure develops into a seed after fertilization? A. Ovary. B. Star. C. Ovo. D. Anther.
Oh,
Zero.
Of cross pollination is advantageous because it's number one, A. produces identical offspring. B. Reduces variation. C. Produces variation. D. Prevent fertilization.
C.
It produces variation. Thank you. Why does fertilization occurs in humans? A. Ovary. B. Uterus. C. Oviduct. D. Vagina.
So
Can
come
you
again.
repeat?
Why does fertilization occurs in humans? A. Ovary. B. Uterus. C. Oviduct. D. Vagina.
I think it's
Oviduct.
What do you say?
ov-
Oviduct.
ovary.
Who said ovary? Who said uterus? Who said oviduct? Who said vagina? Mention
I
your
said
names.
it.
Say
I said
I.
it.
Misoma Gift says this.
Okay. I made some my gift. Say ovary.
Okay, Lilia, what do you say?
I see. I'm not sure. Shall the Oviduct.
You're not sure, sir. Oviduct. Okay. Who else is in the call? Only two people are answering me. Let me check the other people in the call. Confidence and Benita. Okay. The answer is Oviduct. That is where fertilization occurs in humans. Yeah, that's ovary.
Okay.
I've not teach you the hormones. I saw one question on hormones now. Or can you try? Which hormone maintains pregnancy in mammals?
Which
Estrogen that maintains pregnancy
Okay.
for you ladies. You never, you cannot even know it.
It
Don't
says
worry.
I might know it.
Have you been pregnant before?
Go.
I, I bet you want to. You've not read it before, you know. So,
No, I've come across that already. So
okay. A, estrogen. B, testosterone. C, progesterone. D, insulin.
progesterone,
Yeah.
abizio estrogen.
I'm not even sure.
It's progesterone.
It's progesterone, Abby.
So I'm coming now. Yes, the answer is progesterone actually. I received the
I get
message.
it. I get it.
How do you know it's linear? I'm suspecting you are a suspect.
There you go. Should have done it before.
Are you watching Korean film?
I've done what before.
Like I've studied it before now.
Okay.
They've taught you before.
Yes, they've taught me before.
Okay, I trust. Okay. This one is under reproduction, but we've not gotten there. They said which method of birth control prevents ovulation? Which method of birth controls prevent ovulation? A, condom. B, IUD. C, oral pills. D, diaphragm.
IUV.
IUD.
Is oral pills, not IUD. Do you even know what
Well,
IUD is?
I don't know.
What's
We
the
guess.
I just
give
guess.
me the options again, sir?
It is oral pills that controls um, ovulation. I will not teach you how it is done. So number 10, which reproductive structure produces pollen grains? A, stigma. B, style. C,
Anta.
anta. Anta. Anta. Anita. All right. That's the end of today's class. I'm fasting. Fasting is my eyes is getting busy. I need to eat before I faint.
Yakub will manage.
I don't want to manage. I'm not your okay now. So that will be the end of the class. So next class we'll be talking about the male reproductive organ. Then after the male reproductive system, we will go to the female reproductive system. So till then, I want you guys to go and check the videos on the
That-
YouTube. Go and read it or go and watch it. I won't be able to cover. How many classes do we have now in biology? Is it not 5 classes before your exam? You can see. So 5 classes. I don't think I can cover more than 5 topics with the 5 classes. Yeah. So it is well. So do well to enjoy your day. For the sleeper, give that want to go and sleep, go and sleep. And for those that want to watch film, everybody, you will reap what you sow. So those that sleep, they will dream, and they will tell lots their dream next class. For those that are watching film, you will narrate what you gain. Benita, confidence. I don't know what you guys want to do. So confidence, you came late. Report to me after the class. I'm not part of you again. And Benita, you said you are in the class. Okay, no problem. So do well to have a great day and enjoy yourself. Bye-bye. I give you everything. You know me, I'm not a misser. I give you everything. Yeah. Confidence, thank you. Benita, you are fighting me again. No problem. Yeah, bye-bye. Take care of yourself. Let me stop the recording. Yeah, so have a great